Japanese language isn't just a language, it's energy. It's how we react, how we listen, how we feel each other. But most learners never learn the rhythm, the heartbeat of real Japanese conversation. In English, we can pretty much freeze when we are listening to people talk, right? Like for example, when somebody is talking, we can just look at the person and sometimes not like this. It wouldn't be weird. And that's actually how people listen in English. And that's actually the first cultural shock I felt when I went to study abroad in Canada. Kind of made me uncomfortable. Now I'm used to it, but most Japanese people are not. So we can't just look at the person when we are listening. We have to use some reaction words. And that's what we're gonna learn today. So today, I'm gonna teach you the most powerful reaction phrases and words that you can use in casual conversations. And these are essentials to vibe in the conversation, to hype up the person, and to build deep connection with the person. And if you don't learn them, and you just keep looking at the person when they talk like this, you just make them feel uncomfortable. So if you want them to feel comfortable with you when they talk, watch this until the end. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, let's do this. Just a quick disclaimer. Don't use what I'm gonna teach you in formal settings. These words are casual, so use it with friends, meeting new people at a bar, izakaya, club, when talking to your Japanese family, talking to your lovers. So yeah, you can absolutely use them in casual settings. So just don't use them in formal settings, okay? So let's get started. The first one is Maji de. You've definitely heard this before. So it's close to seriously, for real. It's like that. So, let's say I got rejected yesterday and I'm telling you this in Japanese. This kino, yesterday, the furareta means got rejected. Remember this if you didn't know this already. I don't know if you want to know, but let me tell you the plain form of this verb, which is furu is the plain form of the verb, which means to reject someone. This furareta is a passive form, okay? Don't ask me why this is in katakana. It's not that important. It's not that important. Trust me. It's never that important. So yeah, if I tell you, kino furareta, you can react with maji de. So this is the most natural reaction word that fits the best in this situation. Maji de, seriously? For real? It's natural, right? Kino furareta. Okay, let's do the role play. I will say A and then you say B, okay? Kino furareta. Good job. Okay, can you do A now? And I do B. Maji de. And that's how I would say it, okay? Let's move on. So the next one is Naruhodo ne. I say this a lot. This one is really useful. It's close to, that makes sense, or I see. So imagine the situation. I'm explaining how tameguchi works, why it's important. And I conclude my speech with this. だからタメ口教えてる. That's why I teach タメ口. Tameguchi is casual Japanese. You already know that, right? タメ口教えてる. 教えてる is a progressive form of 教える, which means to teach. And after that, you can say なるほどね. Oh, that makes sense. So yeah, you don't have to say this if you didn't understand what I said. So use this when the idea clicked in your mind. Like, oh, okay. So it's like you can say this in aha moment. Oh, なるほどね. Let's do the role play. I'll say this, so you say B, okay? だから、タメ口を教えてる. Good. Okay, let's switch now. You say A, and I say B. なるほどね. Oh, by the way, this ne is a casual speech pattern. It kind of adds this speech pattern, this speech particle, softens the tone. So, like, you can technically use naruhodo as it is. It sounds too cold. So, that's why I attached ne, okay? So, it's always best to just say naruhodo ne rather than naruhodo. Naruhodo, yeah, naruhodo is a bit too cold. But it depends on how you say it, though. If you say, oh, naruhodo, it sounds okay. It doesn't sound cold. But you don't want to do that in every situation, right? So that's why we use this kind of softener. Alright, let's move on. So the next one is Tashikani. Tashikani kind of translates to true or you got a point in English. So let's imagine this situation. I'm also learning Japanese like you are. And I said, マジで日本語むずい. Okay, let's say somebody says, マジで日本語むずい. And you want to say, true. In that kind of moment, say, 確かに. Okay, and you can also use this after somebody made a really good point and you agree with the idea. Let's say I say, 敬語は fake. 敬語 is fake, and you can say 確かに. That's how you use it. This むずい is a shortened version of 難しい, which means difficult or hard in English. So yeah, just remember that. And this マジで is like for real, right? Yeah, we learned this here, but we can also use this in a sentence, in a statement. マジで. To this one, we just, we use this to react by raising the tone, the pitch at the end. マジで. But this one is just マジで. マジで日本語むずい. Or if you wanna make it more human-like sentence, you wanna make it softer, マジで日本語むずいよ. This Japanese is seriously difficult, for real. That's the vibe. So yeah, I'm gonna say this. 日本語マジでむずいよ. And you say 確かに, okay? マジで日本語むずいよ. Good job. And then you say A and I say B. So you can hear me pronouncing this word. Let's go. Tashikani. Alright, how did it go? Let's move on. Alright, the next one is Atsui. Atsui is the original meaning of Atsui is like it's hot. Like this is hot, like temperature hot, right? But we can use this like how you guys use like that's fire. So it can mean that's fire or that's awesome. Like for example, if somebody says takarakuji. Takarakuji is a lottery, okay? This is a lottery. Takarakuji, atatta. Atatta means won. We use a verb ataru for to win the lottery. Ataru. So this ataru, a verb to win the lottery. So this doesn't mean like to win. When we combine this verb with takarakuji, it becomes to win the lottery, okay? This atatta is the past tense of ataru, so nothing crazy. And it's ndayone. Is a speech pattern, casual speech pattern. Textbooks don't really teach, but Japanese people use this all the time in casual, everyday conversations. So this ndayone is great for confessing something or starting a story. So it makes you sound like a human. It kind of adds the vibe of, I'm sharing this story with you. I'm not just stating a fact. I'm not just talking to myself. That's the vibe this ndayone has. And this is the kind of language I teach inside my program. So if you want to learn more of this kind of human, casual speech patterns or emotional intelligent phrases that you can use to deepen the connections, open up the conversations, or just agree naturally, disagree naturally. The language you need to deepen the connection with Japanese people, if that's what you want to learn, you can check the link in bio. You get tons of this kind of lesson inside the program. So yeah, it's gonna be really helpful. And right now you can get access to the foundation course for free for 7 days. So it's like a free trial. See how it's like inside the community, how we organize things, what courses there are. So yeah, like if you want to test things out, you can join for free with no risk, no charge. So don't miss out. Alright, let's do the role play. 宝くじ当たったんだよね. Okay, so I'm telling you, I won the lottery. And you can say, Atsui. Or Atsui ne. It's good to like, you can use this ne here. The same ne. You can use same ne here. Atsui ne. Or Atsu also works. Atsu. マジで Atsu とかね. Yeah, of course I use Atsui too, but I often use Atsu too. Atsu, that's fire, that's awesome. That's a vibe. So let's do the role play. I'll say A, so you say B. You can use Atsui or Atsu, whichever you like. Let's get started. 宝くじ当たったんだよね. And can you say A? And I'll say B. Let's go. Atsu. Good job. Alright, let's move on. Okay, this one might seem a little bit tricky, but it's gonna be super easy but powerful once you understand how to use this. So please stick with me. This is what Japanese high-level communicators use so often, but textbooks never teach. Yeah, this is gonna be something you wanna start using from today. So let me give you an example. Let's say I tell you, like I went to see a movie yesterday and something happened. So that's what's happening here. 昨日映画行ってさ, this sa is a great speech pattern for storytelling. It adds a natural flow to the story. And the way we use this is we combine with te form. So that's why we don't use ta form here. We just use te form. But how can we tell if it's in the past? If it's not past tense? See, there's kino. That's it. If there's kino, we can naturally tell, oh, so you went to see a movie yesterday. That's how you tell. So that te form can mean present or past, just depending on the context. That's what I want you to remember. But anyways, I tell you, 昨日映画行ってさ, I'm still trying to continue the story, but I'm kind of like putting a period to increase the vibe of the story vibe. 昨日映画行ってさ, but first I'm informing. I'm trying to let you picture the image in your head, so it's easier for you to be in the story, if that makes sense. So 昨日映画行ってさ, and then you can say 昨日映画行ったんだ. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how we use this unda? 昨日映画いたんだ. By adding this unda, you're not doing anything. You're not really saying anything, but you're just reacting. So you're just basically repeating what this A said, but it shows you're listening. So it's like this A said, I went to see a movie yesterday. And this B is like, oh, you went to see a movie yesterday, huh? Oh, okay, you went to see a movie yesterday. That's a vibe. So, you know, like by saying this, that fully tells A that this B is listening. If that makes sense. It shows you're listening. And that's what we want to do in a conversation, right? Of course, it's gonna be annoying if you use this technique every time they say a sentence, but this is a technique a lot of high communicators use in Japanese. So I want to remember that. So how to use this unda? Instead of just repeating this exact sentence, 昨日映画行ってたんだ. It doesn't work like that. The rule I want to remember is te form can't be used here. So this sentence is supposed to be past sentence, right? This verb was supposed to be ta form. So that's what you want to use. So just put the sentence in a way that how it was supposed to form. So 昨日映画行った just means I went to see a movie, right? And you just have to add that. That's how you use it. I hope that makes sense. Maybe I can give you another example. And if you can use yo, you're advanced learner, or you're the member of my community for sure. I'll be so proud of you if you can say a sentence like this. 今日本語勉強してるよ instead of 日本語勉強してる. What does this yo do? So it's the vibe of I'm telling this to you, I'm sharing this with you. But anyways, this is just a casual speech pattern, right? So this is the body of the sentence. So what you want to do is take the body, 日本語勉強してる I'm studying Japanese. Let's say you tell me this. And what I do here is I just take the body, 日本語勉強してる the body part of the sentence, which is here. Yo is just a casual speech pattern, so I take this 日本語勉強してる So let's say you tell me 日本語勉強してるよ And I can say 日本語勉強してるんだ You see, I'm fully reacting to what you just said. Like I'm giving a full reaction to what you just said. Instead of just using マジで or Atsui. So it makes a person feel they are listened to fully. You see how powerful it is. This is really powerful. Japanese people are looking for friendships always. So this is really powerful. So let's practice. I say this. 昨日映画行ってさ And you say B, okay? 昨日映画行ってさ Good. And you say A and I say B. So you can hear me how I pronounce this. 昨日映画行ったんだ That's how you use it. Alright, these are the 5 reactional phrases that let you react like a Japanese person with high communication skills in casual conversations. And especially the last one. This is something most Japanese teachers never talk about, but it's actually what separates beginners from high-level communicators. So start using them from today. Seriously, マジで. These are small and powerful. We humans like the feeling of being listened to, because that's how we know we belong to the tribe. Because thousands of years ago, being ignored equals a threat to your life. Because the fear of being ignored is deep in our survival system. And if you want to go deeper in casual Japanese, real reaction phrases, casual speech patterns emotional intelligent natives use, there's a program I teach all of this in depth. And right now, you get access to the foundation course for free. So if this video helped you, it's definitely worth checking out. Link in the description. I also keep exposing the lies of Japanese textbook system to help you speak casual Japanese like a real human, not a robot. So make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. お疲れ.